Man, I should probably make another video. Tomorrow. I'll work on it tomorrow. Shit. Now? I gotta do it now? Fine, whatever. Maybe it'll be funny. Hi-oh, hello, I am Blaze at Rona. You can call me Blazed. Y'all ever heard of Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue? It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. I've probably watched it 30 times. Let's watch it again, and let's talk about it, because why not? No big thesis, no getting too serious, just good old-fashioned fun. Okay, to really understand how funny this whole thing is, like, you don't get it. Its very existence is funny. History is funny sometimes, okay? Name one of the biggest TV networks you know of. Did you think of ABC, Fox, NBC, CBS, or the USA Network? Congrats! This cartoon simulcasted on all of these and more. But this wasn't just any cartoon. In the 90s, I was the most ambitious crossover in history.
Okay, Grandpa, let's get you to bed.
The gang's all here. Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Garfield, the Smurfs, Alf. Do you guys even know who Alf is? Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Winnie the Pooh, and Tigger too. Muppets, Babies, Alvin and the Chipmunks, know the other ones, there you go. Slimer, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles counted off. One. And that's it, only one, Mikey. It doesn't stop there. You think they'd include these iconic characters without their iconic voices? There's Jim Cummings, Townsend Coleman, Ross, I hate your name, Ross Bagdasarian Jr., Janice Carmen, Paul Fusco, Don Messick, Danny Goldman, Lorenzo Music, Laurie O'Brien, Russie Taylor, and Frank Welker. They unfortunately couldn't get Mel Blanc because he died just a year earlier. They got Jeff Bergman, who I still think is a great voice actor, but people have mixed opinions on him. This is actually the first time he voiced them. Maybe I'll get into that another time. But where's the money for all this collab goodness? How did it get simulcasted across the world? Well, it was, Okay, stick with me. I'm reading directly from this drawn together article. Financed by Ronald McDonald Children's Charities. Produced by Academy of Television Arts and Sciences and Silver Star Productions. Executive produced by Roy E. Disney. As in Disney with a capital D. Oh, and the best part?
Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue is the powerful story.
Yup, that's right, Millie. Millie the dog, author of New York Times bestseller Millie's book. That's amazing. This cartoon needs to be important if they got Millie for this. Yo, I actually wonder if any tax dollars went into this, because that'd be really funny. I just want to edit this comment in here. This is strictly an American project and was mostly broadcast nationwide in America, but it did also simulcast in places like Australia and I believe the UK. The initial simulcast of this cartoon didn't have this intro. It's only on VHS, so your average American child didn't know what they were getting into. And if you know nothing about Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue, neither do you! Isn't that exciting? Whoo! Boy, you are in for something. Our story opens to a big home in the suburbs. A young child sleeps in bed, and the bedroom door cracks open. From it, a hand emerges and swipes away a piggy bank. An open comic book starts flipping its pages on its own. Inside, a whole village of Smurfs comes to life. Papa Smurf wakes up and sees outside the comic book that the piggy bank has been stolen. Alf wakes up and asks Garfield for help. I hate that word. Can we, delete the word asks? Asks. Alf wakes up and asks Garfield for help, but he's like, "Do you not see the blue lampshade up my ass?" Then Alf is like,
"Let me rephrase that. Do you want to help, or do you want to be lunch?"
Does Alf eat cats or something? I don't know shit about Alf. What the? And pet cat Lucky, whom Alf wishes to consume. What kind of character trait is this? Mona, you can't watch this. It's too graphic. There's 2 of you. Mona, did you perform mitosis again? I like your Moxie, kid. Actually, that's your name now, Moxie. All right, you guys can watch, but for educational purposes only.
Alvin! Busy!
Oh, look, it's Alvin and the Chipmunks. I know I mentioned in my last video. I swear I'm not going to make it a habit. Oh, look, it's Pooh, and he's wildly off-model. Look, the animation isn't the best, which is crazy considering all the money that went into it. The company who produced it, other than the freaking Television Academy, was a company called Southern Star Productions. You know, like, I said Silver Star Productions at the beginning. Maybe I shouldn't write scripts high or something. This is probably the only time I'm gonna do this. I say was because they're now called Endemol Australia, if that's even how you pronounce it. But before that, they were called Hanna-Barbera Australia. They made hit shows like Teen Wolf and the Berenstain Bears. Or was it Berenstain Bears? Anyway, they animate for television, so it's about the same quality animation as the shows everyone comes from. After enough dilly-dallying, the cartoons finally wake Cory up. Slimer appears and points her to where her piggy bank should be. Said piggy bank is being smashed to pieces in the other room by our main character, Michael, a teenager who looks a bit too much like Marty McFly and is about as white as him.
Michael? It's me.
Go away.
I'm just looking for... Is that my piggy bank?
It fell. I was just trying to fix it.
He's stealing money from Cory and lying about it. She doesn't buy it at all and weirdly switches topics to a mysterious metal box on his bed. He grabs it, locks eyes with her, and slides it under the bed in the most inconspicuous manner possible. Convenient for our cartoon characters because they can now inspect its contents. And inside it is... cat poop, an unbranded box of gummy candy, an ocarina, a miniature bale of hay, and a box of bendable matches.
Toto, something tells me we're not in cartoon territory anymore.
Oh no.
What's that funny smell?
Oh
I
no.
hate to suggest this, but my guess would be marijuana. An unlawful substance used to experience artificial highs.
I never thought I'd hear Simon say marijuana. Yep, it's one of those. I have no idea what anti-drug media for kids looks like now, but talk to any Gen Xer and they'll tell you how batshit insane this era was. I'm not getting into it. It's a little before my time. I did talk to a friend who grew up during the Just Say No campaign. They said they personally weren't taught the crap they teach in this special. What crap do they teach to the American youth? Let's find out! Michael dodges all of Cory's questions. This is how Cory knows something must be wrong because the two have a close sibling bond. Well, we're told they have one anyway. The Smurfs, Slimer, Baby Kermit, Elf, the Chipmunks, Garfield, and Winnie the Pooh all agree to help Michael with his drug problem. Imagine if this was Cory's amiibo collection instead. Sephiroth would be like, "Cory, wake up. You've been robbed." But no, these cartoon all-stars are coming to the rescue. Except for Pooh. He's made of stuff and fluff, he'd tear too easily. We join back with Michael and his weed smoke becomes its own character voiced by George C. Scott? I feel old just saying that name. Mike's friends try to introduce him to meth. At least I think it is. I've never done meth, but I don't think you present it on the palm of your hand. Yeah, this entire special has the weed is a gateway drug point of view. A little later on, we see that Michael has also drunk some of his dad's beer. I'm not going to educate you on whether or not that holds any water. I don't think it does. For me, alcohol came before weed because one was legal and one wasn't. Then when it became legal, I started having weed. And I don't think I need anything else. Weed actually made me drink less alcohol. Everyone's different, something Cartoon All-Stars doesn't acknowledge. The weed smoke character and his friends are peer pressuring him, then the cops show up. Oh no! You think an actual cop has cornered him until...
What's up, Doc?
Huh? You're not a cop?
Okay, you win. You got me dead to rights. I'm not a cop, I'm a rabbit.
Ah yes, the two genders. Nobody tell Bugs about Judy Hopps. I know he's not a very serious guy, but he's from a different era, if you get me. Smoke laughs in the face of Bugs Bunny, which you really shouldn't. Being put in a trash can is a tame punishment. Be thankful he didn't remember a toothpaste ad.
I saw a guy do this in a toothpaste ad once. Ta-da!
Whoa. Okay. What? Yo, Moxie just opened the door? Hey. What is wrong with you? Here's my question. If Cory has toys and merch of all these cartoons, that means they are fictional in the story's universe, right? Similar to our world? I'm sorry, but who doesn't recognize Bugs Bunny? Where's the stereotypical cartoon character and human character yelling in shock at each other? And where's Michael Jordan? Sorry, I'm not sure what came over me there. Let's resume.
What's this? A joint? So what's the big attraction? I mean,
Let's resume! Because Bugs is a trickster god, he summons a time machine and takes Michael to the past. Bugs admits he stole it from some coyote. Gee, wonder who that could be. He really cares about helping this one random human child. What is motivating him to do this? At least the rest of the tunes came from his house. Meanwhile, the unnamed mom of the story asks Cory if something's wrong with Michael. A mom will only ask that if she already knows something is wrong. It's a test, Cory, run! Okay, she does say,
You know, we love you both, and if there's something wrong, we'd like to help.
it sounded suspiciously knowing because it's bad writing. Okay, she seems nice. Cory lies, and when the mom leaves, Pooh breaks Toy Story rules and talks to her.
Why didn't you tell her?
Pooh! You can talk?
Now I have something to ask, if you please. Why didn't you say you were worried about Michael too?
If I tell and he gets in trouble, he'll blame me.
Perhaps, but what will happen to him if you don't tell?
This is actually a good point, and would make more sense if Cory knew Michael was smoking weed. Bugs saying, a joint, and Simon saying, marijuana, is great dialogue, but Pooh's dialogue is genuinely good dialogue. It still suffers from the terrible plot structure, but at least he sounds in character. Vice interviewed Jim Cummings in 2015, asking about his experience in this train wreck. Ross Bagdasarian Jr. and Jeff Bergman had no issues saying non-cartoon words in very cartoony voices, but Jim thankfully had some foresight. He explained in the interview, he's an innocent. It makes no sense for him to even know those words. I suppose at his request the lines were rewritten, and now Pooh is the best character in this whole thing. Back to Michael, and Bugs takes him to 2 years ago.
And where's the color?
listen, kid, this is the past, and the past is in black and white. Get it?
This is the only joke I found funny on my first watch. Michael describes himself from 2 years ago as me when I was a kid. Does he think weed somehow made him an adult? Are you only a child if you wear a shirt with your first initial on it?
You guys cruising for lung cancer or what?
Okay. No. I actually need to say something about this. This line tells me that Michael, at some point, was taught that smoking is bad. He didn't want his friends to think he was lame, and that's enough to ignore that? We don't get enough info about Michael to make sense of his decision. Is he that desperate for friends? He seems perfectly happy in his flashback. Any perfectly happy, middle-class child in the 90s with a loving family has no reason to try weed unless you give us one. But no, don't you see? The writers are actually really clever. The M on his shirt stands for marijuana. He was indoctrinated from the start. Michael told Ben Bugsworth Hardaway Bunny that he started smoking weed because he wanted to. Bugs shows that he was peer pressured into trying weed, but we see he didn't really need much convincing. Bugs is like,
Still think it was your choice?
being peer pressured means you made the wrong choice, not that you didn't have a choice. The anti-drug campaign is called Just Say No. That's the choice to not take drugs, correct? Why do I understand the messaging and the writers somehow didn't? Need I remind you that this was officially endorsed by the United States government? People get addicted for all kinds of reasons. Here, I'll give you one that would have worked for Michael. He's getting bad grades. Homework and tests stress him out. And since it's a problem concerning school, that could be why weed was introduced to him at school. His friends see him stressed and say, hey, this'll chill you out. They say you don't need much, just enough to calm your nerves for a test. When his grades don't get better, he uses weed to calm himself down more and more. He gets to the point where he's using weed to avoid the problem instead of fixing it. And here lies the core of the issue with this story. Addiction is a problem, but instead of humanizing it, they demonize it. And we all know how effective that approach is.
It's like the old saying, if everyone was jumping off a cliff, would you go too? I guess you would, wouldn't you? Not very bright. Definitely not one of the world's foremost thinkers.
Smoke talks about how he has problems, but we don't see these problems, other than the ones smoking weed is already causing him.
Sure, drugs make you feel good for a while, but that's only temporary, because sooner or later...
Sooner or later, you explode. Due to my hand. I will fucking destroy you if you keep smoking weed.
Yes, I do make funny voices while high, why do you ask? Cut back to Cory, and due to the advice of Winnie the Pooh, she goes and tells her father that she's worried about Michael. He's like, it's just puberty, daughter, don't worry. She starts to suggest that it's more than that, but because of the plot, she says never mind and just leaves. What a useful scene. Next scene, one of Mike's friends is, yo, maybe don't make the token black kid character one of the examples of bad influences, especially considering the war on drugs was racist. Sorry, this is supposed to be a fun video. So the girl with the only sense of fashion says she could get some crack for $10. Won't you know it, I've never done crack either, but sorry Bob, the price isn't right. I know we're in a post-trusting the government world, but an article I found from the DEA says crack cost about $100 a gram at the time, which is accurate if you lived in New York in 1990. Don't ask me why Americans measure drugs in grams and everything else in pounds and ounces. I don't make the rules, I just ignore them. Let's say this unnamed girl managed to get 1/10 of a gram of crack for $10. Congrats! That's enough for one dose. There are 3 of you. $10 in 1990 is $25 in today's money. I don't even spend that much for 2 bags of weed gummies. I'm not pointing this out to be like, lol, gotcha. The internet was different back then. You couldn't do what I did and look all this up. However, if you're gonna be an educational PSA about drugs, you have a responsibility to minimize misinformation. This scene could easily be rewritten to not say an exact dollar amount to add some believability. With crack being so expensive, it makes sense why his so-called friends end up stealing his wallet by the end of the scene. Whatever. He chases down his friend, but falls down an open sewer hole. Oh, this story has to take place in New York because Michelangelo is here. There are 2 Michaels in this. They could have picked any other name. They also could have picked any other turtle to show up, but no, pick the comedy relief turtle. I personally would have picked Raphael. He'd have a field day with the sarcastic insults. Oh, wait. Mikey has an M on his belt. You know, for marijuana. Mikey banishes him to a roller coaster, manned by Baby Kermit and Baby Miss Piggy. We didn't see Miss Piggy before, but she's here now. This is the part where they use a vague metaphor to tell you what drugs do to your brain. The bigger the up, the steeper the down. Yeah, sure. For crack, maybe. Crack is an upper, marijuana's a downer. The egg on the frying pan was a better metaphor than this.
This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Instead, they act like Mike's brain is being hotboxed. How is any kid supposed to understand this? The weird roller coaster metaphor ends, Mike rides a skateboard high and falls off, because I always want to exercise when I'm high, and then he meets Donald Duck's nephews.
Are you okay?
Huh? Now I'm seeing ducks? Oh, man. I gotta get off of these drugs.
Drugs?
Oh, I get it. Mike hotboxed his room in the beginning and Corey got a secondhand high, so now they're both seeing cartoon characters. Yet, Michael still does not recognize any of them. It's funny because eventually he voices Max Goof. I know, Huey, Dewey, and Louie are here because of DuckTales, but I kind of wish this special came out a little later so Goofy could be in this. He'd be like, "You're a disappointment to your family." You like my Goofy voice? I worked really hard on it.
News, Michael. Why don't
Wait,
you just
everyone
say-
shut up. This is the best part. Remember that group of cartoons that left Corey's house to go help Michael? Well, they were rehearsing a song for him this entire time. I'm not even mad because the song's composed by Alan Menken and written by Howard Ashman. And if those names don't ring a bell, they made the songs for The Little Mermaid. You know, the movie that started the Disney Renaissance. You know when the instrumental of a song in the background plays while characters are still talking? Menken and Ashman came up with that, and it's used here too. Some characters that were missing before only just now appear. If you were wondering where Tigger is, there you go. What's up, man? I really like this song. It's been stuck in my head for weeks, and some of the lyrics are just comedy gold. It was made knowing that a ton of non-singing characters would have to sing for it, so it's actually more of a talking on rhythm song. Lorenzo Music does a really good job, and his lyrics are my favorite.
Now you could say beat it, get lost, get out of my face with that stuff.
I mean, his last name is Music, of course he'd do a good job. Man, this song isn't gonna be copyright struck by YouTube. You know what, fuck it.
I'm late for my baseball game and I'll miss my run.
My kid sister needs me.
Her hamster died.
Hurry home.
There's no time to kill,
So I'll catch you later, like heck I will. There's a million wild and wonderful ways to say no. Guess I'm allergic.
A good excuse is something you never outgrow.
It's bad for my complexion. When your pals say, let's get wrecked. Muster up your self-respect. Go on, push eject, protect yourself. Get up and go. Be the first one on your block to say, yeah, forget it, Doc. Try a couple of those wonderful ways to say no. There's a million zillion wonderful ways to say no. There's a million jillion wonderful ways to say, oh no! Welp, Miss Piggy cracked my screen. Great. Can we talk about Alf stealing Bugs' line? Could they not get Jeff to record for the song? Did they seriously forget to get that line from him so they had to improvise with Alf? I don't know if I'll ruffle any feathers with this, but Paul Fusco said a particularly nasty slur repeatedly during the outtakes of Alf. Yup, it's the one you're thinking of. What's that? Not only has he not apologized for saying said slurs, but he still cameos as Alf to this day? Fuck you, Paul, and fuck your ballsack persona. I need more weed.
What a nightmare.
The nightmare ain't over, son.
I thought I told you to stay out of here.
Pooh Bear wants to know why you don't talk to Mom and Dad.
Tell Pooh Bear to mind his own business.
Tell Pooh Bear to find his own business. This is the low point in the second act. I want to take it seriously, but it's so bad. Oh, hey, Alf, we were just talking about you.
We gotta do something about this. The thing is, we don't always see things the way they really are.
Then he proceeds to show Mike a reflection of himself, only to say that's not him, then show a zombified version of himself. Alf says this is what he's really like, but this is also a warped perception, isn't it? You're telling me this whole thing was a Christmas Carol with extra steps. Bugs is the ghost of marijuana past, and Kermit is the ghost of cocaine present. What lies in Michael's future? While Michael is off on another cartoon-induced fever dream, Corey somehow gathers the courage to go back in his room despite the domestic abuse situation that happened moments before. She finally meets Smoke, and we get the heightened stakes that always come at the start of Act 3. Now Corey is being pressured to do drugs.
I wouldn't listen to him.
Oh,
Pooh Bear!
Pooh got yeeted!
Somebody help me!
Back with Michael, and wow, so in character for Daffy to show up this late. Okay, maybe Daffy is the ghost of Heroin Future because he's the one that shows zombie Michael again.
It's me. This is my future?
It is if you don't get off those drugs.
You use, you lose.
Listen to us. We care about you, Mikey.
What's up, Doc, is your life. If you don't...
If you care so damn much, maybe tell him how to get off of drugs instead of traumatizing him. Okay, they finally let him go when he stops Corey before she can figure out how a match works.
Corey, don't you ever do this stuff.
But you did it.
I was a dope.
I wanted dope. I mean, I was a dope.
You don't have to quit on your own. Talk to Mom and Dad. They'll help. I'll help.
Finally, something that resembles advice, and it didn't come from baby Kermit. Why am I not surprised? As revenge for yeeting Pooh, Michael yeets Smoke into a dumpster and they agree to talk to their parents about what's going on. Yay. Pooh's back also, yay!
I thought I was going to miss something important.
You won't, Pooh, I guarantee it. Wait, so did all of them come from Corey's toys or the poster? And this poster's in Michael's room. How did he not recognize characters from a poster that was in his own room? Did the characters make the poster? Will their beady eyes constantly surveil him in case he tries to hotbox his room again? Who cares, cause it's over.
And remember all those wonderful ways to say no.
And as you get taller, you'll see.
Get stronger and stronger you'll be.
That's how the world works, kid.
That's how it's designed.
You'll even outgrow us one day.
Forget that you know us, you made.
But promise you'll keep what we say in the back of your mind.
Okay, when I heard this, I got a little mushy inside. I really like the message, even when you forget us, don't forget what we taught you. It's so bittersweet. Outside of the stupid drug PSA, your childhood characters saying this to you is impactful. I wish more of the special was like this. But then we wouldn't have Kermit saying, "Let's get wrecked!" Lots of people have talked about this special, so why did I make a video about it? Because when something's funny, I'm more likely to remember it, and I want to tell people about it. I think that goes for everyone, because Wonderful Ways to Say No has a Reanimate video organized by Viviane Medrano. What? Medrano? Did I even pronounce that right? Creator of Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, by the way. This special is iconic because it's terrible, and because I'm terrible, I wrote and recorded this entire script high. I wasn't acting, it wasn't just a bit, I am on the drug they shat on so much in this. This video was for shits and giggles. We giggled, we shat, some of you did both at the same time. It's been fun, but now it's time for me to say the obligatory PSA crap. I don't smoke because inhaling smoke will always have ya cruising for lung cancer. I only eat edibles and I know my limits. It's legal in my state, I get them from a licensed dispensary, and I definitely do not drive under the influence, which should go without saying. But I'm surprised Cartoon All-Stars didn't mention it once. Anyway, if you're underage, don't do drugs, period. Any drug can be abused, including weed, so if you're old enough to enjoy it, do so responsibly. Just like with alcohol. And don't do both at once, you're gonna have a bad time. Don't ask how I know that. I'm hungry. We are not getting Domino's. Little Caesars? I did not raise you like this. When did pizza get so expensive? You think peanut butter and pickles actually go well together, or is that just a myth? Hey y'all, thanks for watching, thanks for coming back if you're a returning viewer. I know this one took a while, but you know. Oh, by the way, I'm sober, just in case you're wondering. I only, look, I didn't do the editing high, okay? I promise. By the way, Bugs canonically smokes weed and you can't change my mind.